Why do you need to use a warping board? These days, most people warp a rigid heddle loom with what's called the direct warping process. That's what you can see me doing here. That works because of the way that the slots and holes are set up on a rigid heddle loom. It's really fast, it's really easy, and it works for these small looms. However, when you get to a table loom where the heddles are separated from the reed, you need a different way to warp. You could sit around and measure and cut multiple lengths of yarn to be exactly the same length, but that's tedious and could quickly turn into a tangled mess. This is where a warping board comes in handy. So why should you use a warping board? First of all, it helps you to measure out multiple pieces of yarn that are all the same length, and it lets you do it quickly and accurately. Secondly, it keeps your yarn organized. As you wind the warp onto the warping board, you create a cross which keeps everything in order. Plus, if you have multiple colors of yarn, you get to have a little preview of the colors that will be in your warp and how they'll interact. Warping boards come in lots of shapes and sizes. This one is a 14-yard model made by Shacked. You can also find miniature ones. It all comes down to your preference and needs. I actually made my first warping board. It was a bunch of dowels glued into holes that I drilled in a piece of plywood. It wasn't pretty, but it did get the job done. There are so many ways to measure a warp, from walking back and forth between some sticks in the ground to huge industrial systems. But for a 4-shaft table loom like the Cricut Quartet, I find that a warping board is just right. Come along with me on my next video where I'll walk you through the process. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help, and I really do appreciate your support.